Right here, you were supposed to be doing these two.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
What does this sign mean? All sides are.
I guess I don't even hear it anymore after last semester.
All sides are.
You guys are by far my quietest class. It's lovely.
This is.
I will make this class much.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's a lot quieter than the last.
Oh yeah.
Our class.
First hour was like somber.
Our class was the
Yes,
best.
that was us.
First hour is always quiet.
No, my class was the best.
London is like on espresso after first hour. He is like bouncing off the walls.
Our class was like bouncing yet. Ooh, London. Wrong way.
Yeah, I had him first hour, so he wasn't awake yet. Are you recording me? Turn it off.
Why are you doing
I know. He wants to record the lesson.
Katie,
So you can watch it later.
It's really funny to watch the lessons because then all of a sudden you hear, Tristan, stop.
Yeah.
So I never had Tristan.
Okay.
What does that sign mean?
This says rhombus, all sides are congruent. A rectangle, all the angles are congruent. And 90 degrees. Let's just put that. A square is both a rhombus and a rectangle because it meets both of these definitions.
Right.
Okay?
How do you say that?
All right. Does anybody want to come up and do number 1 up here on the whiteboard? There you go.
Exactly, thank you.
Theorem 6.10. This is wrong, you guys. Oh, actually, no, it's fixed. 6.10. The diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular. Now remember, in a rhombus, if you draw it like this, which you can, you just got to make sure all the sides are congruent. And then what this says is the diagonals of the rhombus are perpendicular. So if you drew a diagonal here and a diagonal here, know that it forms a 90-degree angle. This is the symbol for perpendicular.
Right.
Okay? And Theorem 6.11 says the diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. Congruent. So if you draw a rectangle, this one is not so pretty. But they're all 90-degree angles. And if you were to draw this diagonal here and this diagonal here, it's kind of hard to mark this because the whole diagonal is equal to the other diagonal. So I would probably just do something like that. It's kind of hard to mark it, but that's what that means. Okay? Oh, we don't have diagram RSTU here, so we got to draw it. Sort of like that. Label it RSTU. It is a square, and I know that this is 7. Okay. All right, so if this is 7 and it's a square, what is UT going to equal? Look how easy that is. RU is going to equal 7. RS is going to equal 7. And what's the measure of each angle? Right. Angle S, T, U, and R are all equal to 90 degrees. Because it's a square.
Right.
What do the angles add up to in a quadrilateral? 360. Okay, turn it over. Okay, rhombus corollary. It's like an addition to a theorem. If a quadrilateral has 4 congruent sides, this is like saying it has 4 sides, then it is a rhombus. It's like the converses that we would do yesterday. So if I'm given this picture, and I know the sides are congruent, but I don't know anything about the angles, I can say it's a rhombus for sure. They may even draw it like this. Cannot say that's a square. Why can't I say that's a square? Because I don't know anything about the angles, but I know the sides are congruent, so it's a rhombus. All right. Rectangle correlate. If a quadrilateral has 4 right angles, then it is a rectangle for sure. That's a rectangle. They could be. They could give you this. And you may be tempted to say it's a square, but you can't, because the only thing you know about are the angles. Okay? So this we also have to call a rectangle. If a quadrilateral has 4 congruent sides and 4 right angles, then it can be a square. Then it's a square. All right, use the information in the diagram to name the special quadrilateral. So let's take a look at this. We know there's 4 right angles. We know there's 4 congruent sides. We can call it a what? Square. This one, all we know is what? We only know there's 4 congruent sides. We don't know anything about the angles, so we can call it a rhombus. Okay. JKLM. There ain't no JKLM. So let's rename it. PQRS. That was a mistake. Okay, PQRS is a rhombus. Find the value of X. What 2 things do you know about a rhombus? What 2 things do we know? Let's flip it over and see. Oh, we know 4 sides are equal, but what else do we know? Perpendicular, which form what kind of angles? Okay, so I know then if this is a rhombus that this is a right angle, this is a right angle, this is a right angle, and that's a right angle, correct? Do you see where I'm going with this? Can you see this orange? I'm going to pull that little triangle out. This is 50 degrees. This is 90 degrees. Can I figure out what X is? What are the degrees of a triangle add up to? 180. So yes, you can do that in your head. Minus 90 minus 50 equals 40 degrees. Yeah? Okay. ABCD is a rectangle. You know what about rectangles? Okay. You know that the angles are equal to 90 degrees. You also know that the diagonals, which is what they told us on the other side, the diagonals are congruent. So they want to find X. Yes, I think this is kind of hard. This is 10, therefore X equals 10. How is a rhombus different from a square? We don't know anything about the angles, right? We don't know that the angles are 90 degrees. So you could write it as a rhombus does not necessarily have 4 right angles. Could a square be called a rhombus? It could be. Okay. Alrighty, so you still have 15 minutes. You probably can get the practice with this section done.
So just do like